Did you know there was a secret plan to invade Canada during World War II? Now, this might come as a surprise, but it's true. The United States military developed War Plan Red, a detailed strategy aimed at invading Canada, which was a part of the British Empire. The plan was concocted as a just-in-case scenario in the event of a potential conflict with Britain. However, it was never executed. This might have been due to the cordial diplomatic relations between the US and Britain, or perhaps the focus on more pressing global conflicts. Now imagine how different North America might look today if this plan had been carried out. Ever heard of a battle where Americans and Germans fought side by side? Let me tell you about the Battle of Castle Itter. This wasn't your typical World War II skirmish. In the waning days of the war, in May of 1945, in the Austrian Alps, a unique alliance was formed. American and German soldiers found themselves fighting together against the Waffen-SS to defend Castle Itter. Among the key figures were American tank commander Joseph Joe Gangle and former French Prime Minister Paul Reynaud. Together they successfully held off the SS until reinforcements arrived. It truly was a battle like no other. When you think of an army, you'd surely imagine soldiers, tanks and guns. But what about an army of inflatable tanks and sound effects? In the thick of World War II, a unique unit was formed with the sole purpose of deceiving enemy forces. Called the Ghost Army, this unit was unlike any other. Its soldiers were artists, actors and designers. Their weapons, inflatable tanks, fake radio transmissions and sound effects. Their mission was to create the illusion of a larger force, tricking the enemy and diverting their attention. In the art of war, sometimes illusion can be as powerful as actual firepower. Now let's journey to the Pacific Theater and discuss the grim event known as the Bataan Death March. The year was 1942. Thousands of American and Filipino prisoners of war found themselves at the mercy of Japanese forces, forced to embark on a grueling 65-mile march under brutal conditions. Dehydration, starvation, and physical abuse were the order of the day. Many perished on the way, while those who survived were subjected to further hardship at prison camps. A dark chapter in the history of war, the Bataan Death March remains a symbol of wartime atrocities. How about a story of sabotage on American soil? Enter Operation Pastorius. This covert mission, schemed up by the Nazis during World War II, aimed to bring down the American infrastructure. The operation involved 8 German agents who slipped into the States with the intent to wreak havoc. However, their plan ultimately fell flat. The agents were soon captured and brought to trial, marking a swift and decisive end to their destructive plot. While the operation was a failure, it did cause a wave of fear and paranoia across the States. In the midst of war, can there be a moment of peace? The Christmas truce says yes. Picture this, Christmas 1944. Soldiers, weary from the terrors of war, lay down their arms in an unofficial ceasefire. Allies and Axis enemies by day become friends for a night. They share songs, stories, even a game of football, celebrating the joy of Christmas together. A fleeting moment of camaraderie amidst the chaos. In the heart of a war zone, this event serves as a reminder of our shared humanity. From the land of the rising sun came a unique weapon, balloon bombs. Imagine this. The Japanese, in an attempt to wreak havoc and instill fear in the hearts of their enemies, engineered bombs attached to balloons. These were no ordinary balloons, mind you. They were designed to drift across the Pacific Ocean, driven by the jet stream, and land in the United States, where they would ignite and cause forest fires. The aim was to create chaos and divert resources. But did it work? Not quite. While some did reach their destination, they caused minimal damage and few casualties. The US government kept it hush-hush, denying the Japanese the satisfaction of knowing their psychological warfare had any effect. A unique yet largely unsuccessful attempt at psychological warfare. Did you know that peaceful Iceland was invaded during World War II? In the shadows of the larger theaters of conflict, Iceland, a neutral nation, found itself the target of British forces. The Brits, fearing a German occupation of the island, decided to make the first move. The invasion was peaceful, not a shot fired, not a drop of blood spilled. But why Iceland? Strategically, it was a gem. Its location in the North Atlantic made it a vital waypoint for naval and air forces. A peaceful invasion it was, but an invasion nonetheless. Let's take to the skies with a mystery from the war, the ghost blimps. Picture this. The L-8 blimp, an American airship, takes off for a routine mission only to return with its crew nowhere to be found. The blimp itself was intact, with no signs of a struggle or any indication of what might have happened to the two-man crew. Theories abound, from abduction to an accidental fall into the ocean. But the truth, that's lost in the clouds. A wartime mystery that remains unsolved to this day. And finally, let's talk about a battle that took place after the war ended. The Battle of Athens. This was not a conflict on foreign soil, but a domestic one in the US state of Tennessee. Rising political tensions and rampant corruption set the stage for this unusual battle. After World War II, returning veterans found their hometowns plagued with shady politics and decided to take matters into their own hands. They challenged the existing authorities in the 1946 elections, but when the incumbents tried to manipulate the results, it led to an armed rebellion. A clear example of how the effects of war can linger long after the guns have fallen silent.